away from the rest of his team. One of their major damage dealers was just not there. And when he came in, who did he focus on? Anivia, who still has an egg, who's still in the fight. It's essentially another character that you have to focus down. And they just could not get the damage they needed to off. The focus was a little bit off.
And so CLG pushing very aggressively. We do have St. Vicious is going to be taking this dragon in the meantime, but you know, this will be an easy tower for CLG. We do have the rest of Against All Authority split pushing top, so they will be able to pick up this tower. But we'll see whether or not CLG can take this middle inhibitor. If they do, then I don't know. It's not really worth it. But if Against All Authority can stall them out while they're taking, Udyr is alone. Talon did teleport, and they're actually pinging to just continue. So Udyr just going to continue pushing top, and so as you know, Talon does have some wave clearing capabilities, but we'll see whether or not they can stall out this push.
CLG making the push out in mid Against All Authority. They're trying to defend one man down, waiting to see if Linek can actually take out top turret, but the swap was canceled. Canceled swap from Jana. Oh my god, and CLG will be able to take down this tower.
CLG is going to be able to get this, but we actually did have the flash cross, and then Shyvana, St. Vicious coming back with that Dragon Ultimate onto N-rated. They are going to back off. There's the wall onto Soaz, forces the flash, so otherwise he would have gone down. There is an inhibitor, but Linek trying to do what he can to push down this top tower. Won't be able to pick up this tower in time as long as CLG can get back. So, you know, once again, another advantage for CLG. They have the great fight control. They're actually going down bottom.
They're not going back.
They're ignoring Linek.
They're letting Linek do his thing up top, and he's taking a little fair amount of damage, waiting for the minions to go. Gangplank going down, trying to clear the minion wave, but Linek will he be able to do this? He still has turtle stance. Can he get the last hits he needs? Yes, he can. And CLG continuing to push tower for tower. But still, Against All Authority outnumbered.
Oh, wow, but there's the wall off from Anivia and the burst down onto Yellow Star. We do have them chasing after Talon here. Gangplank with the flash in. Hotshot not able to pick off Soaz, so we do have another tower going down. They will be able to pick up the second inhibitor. The flash in from Soaz just narrowly avoiding that flash cross, but the Oracles will pick him up from Jana. And so now another kill. CLG going to be able to take this inhibitor. Linek not actually going to finish the inhibitor of his own.
Now he's going back.
He knows that CLG is going to be pushing onto this Nexus, and they are probably going to be able to take this game right now. I don't know that Against All Authority can stop it, and the wall off once again, picking off N-rated. Linek going to come in, flashes into Chowster, but they won't be able to do it, and CLG is going to be able to take game number 2, winning this series 2-0 against All Authority. Congratulations to CLG.
Focusing the Nexus, GG! 2-0.
Wow, so just fantastic play all around, and CLG Against All Authority running these fantastic, you know, aggressive strategies, these assassin comps. Game number 1, you know, they had that aggressive team. Game number 2, we saw all those assassins, but they weren't able to do it. CLG, the defensive play, able to pick up that win as the game progressed. There are your winners, CLG.
Wow, and you know what, it's, as much as I want to give a shout out, you know, for the attempt for the back door, but it just didn't quite work out. It just didn't work out for him. Stayed a little bit too long. They needed him there to defend the tower. Just could not do it. Just could not do it out.
Yeah, and so the great jungling control from Shyvana is definitely a big part of that. Shyvana definitely has that mobility, so couple that with the movement speed from Jana, they can move all around the map, try and stall off when Against All Authorities trying to pick up these kills, and then the aggressive dragon, an 8-minute dragon from CLG. And, you know, that's what we saw, aggressive dragons, aggressive pushings, and those aren't really, you know, what we know CLG for. We know CLG to kind of tend to sit back and be like, hey, we'll win the mid-game fights. We'll give up those early-game dragons. We'll, you know, if they tend to go for a later-game comp, maybe not pushing as aggressively. They tend to split push a lot, but we saw just aggressive team fights, and that's what CLG is bringing to the table. A new CLG coming from the Korean scene. We'll see, you know, how they do as this tournament continues, but into round number 2, and then Against All Authority is into the losers bracket now.
They're not out yet.
They're not out yet. It is double elimination.
So we will be seeing a little bit more from Against All Authority later on in the weekend. CLG moving on. We'll be seeing them. We should be seeing them play again later on today. But man, I can't think of a better way to start off the weekend. Wonderful, wonderful performance from CLG. I can't wait for the rest of the weekend. If this is what we started out with, imagine what we're going to end with.
And we've been seeing a lot of kind of stall teams. We've been seeing a lot of passive play in the competitive scene, but that's not what those two games had at all. We just saw all-out aggression. They definitely want to be able to take out the win here. All the fans, you know, cheering for them. We, you know, have the Hui 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 sign is fantastic. So CLG, you know, one of those old-time American favorites. I've been talking, you know, StarCraft, they have in the Korean scene the Bonjour. They have those players that they're revered like gods almost, because they're just, you know, these all-time favorite hero players who are just, you know, absolute masters at the game. That would be fantastic to have that in LoL, and CLG is probably the closest we have to that.
Yep. So we're done with our first set. CLG moving on. AAA going into the losers bracket, but you know, we got a lot more for you guys. We're going to go to break, so do please stay tuned. This is IPL4.
We have an amazing live audience here today. Yeah. So, did you guys like the matches? Yeah. Congratulations, CLG, to going. I hope you guys get food or something. If I were you, I would get cookies. Okay, so, coming up next, we're going to go to the interview couch, where Rivington is going to be interviewing. Yes, there is a couch somewhere around here. Rivington's going to interview Hotshot GG. So, Rivington, wherever you are, I toss it to you.
All right, we are going to take it away here in our absolutely, totally covert, secret area. Nobody can see us right now. We're actually underground, 300 levels, except for the crowd right here in front of us. But I'm here with Hotshot GG of CLG. Guys, give this CLG a round of applause again for taking that first game of the day. Playing quite well for themselves. So coming into the first team comp, what was going through your guys' head? You saw a global opponents. What were you guys thinking?
So actually, we knew what kind of happened. We had the Karthus ban since IEM. We know MoMA liked to play Karthus, so we had that ban down. And then we were actually surprised that they didn't ban Shen, and it's probably because I didn't do that well at IEM. So they were like, oh, this guy Shen's not that good, and then they just gave me Shen, and that was pretty not
So
good.
have you actually been working on your Shen since then? Do you kind of feel that there was a little bit of true part to that?
Yeah, I actually worked on my Shen since IEM because I didn't build properly and I didn't have the right runes, so it's gotten a lot better.
Coming out with your guys' team comp for that game, you know, why the Anivia? We don't see her very often. Did you feel like that was going to be able to segregate the fight enough if the global alts were going to be able to give them an upper hand?
Well, actually, Gigi's a really good Anivia, and he's been playing it for a long time. And one of his walls, I remember, he zoned 4 people, and he just completely swung the team fight. Anivia's just a really strong hero, and Gigi's really good, so it's an easy choice for us.
Right on. One of CLG's big things is to kind of not necessarily disregard Dragon in the early parts of the game, but it's not something you guys are ready to throw a team fight for. It's not something you have to get at so aggressively. So with TF on that first pick for their team and 3 Dragons, did you guys feel you were falling behind at all in the global gold situation?
We fell behind in global gold, but as long as Shen can 1v1 split push and the 4 people that are pushing themselves don't get caught and die for free, it's really, really hard to beat Shen.
All right, what were you guys thinking with the Fizz pick on the second matchup and also the meta switch up with the lanes?
Well, Fizz is really, 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 really bad in a 2v1 situation. So when they sent Leona top, we were like, okay, we'll just keep these lanes. Urgot does pretty good versus GP. It's about even. And then, Tapu is about even too. But we knew we had the global advantage. We had the team comp advantage. They had 2 assassins. We just pulled it late, and they couldn't do anything.
Right on. What did you guys really want to see, obviously, besides the win in that second game when you saw their team comp? What was your strategy to take the win? Because you did actually go for more Dragons within that game, in the second game.
Well, we just had an advantage due to positioning on the map. I had teleport, which means that I can kind of put more pressure on Urgot, and then we can force more Dragons. And we had power clear junglers, power clear jungler, and we had good good roaming by Chowster, so we all did pretty good just to secure those dragons.
All right, so you guys actually playing pretty well coming out in the beginning there. AAA also coming all the way over internationally, so a little bit of jet lag there. But the other teams in this tournament, now Monomatic in here, you guys know much about them. How are you feeling about the rest of the competition?
The competition is kind of tough. Dignitas is well accomplished, and they're a really good team, and TSM is looking pretty good. So those are the teams to look out for. Curse is pretty strong too, and so those are my picks for this tournament. And
I know obviously everybody on their best behavior, we are in Vegas, but you guys, what are you guys doing at night to just mill about, get through the nights, talk about the strats, you go have a few beers? What have you guys been doing in Vegas?
Okay, so nights where we don't have games, we just we do whatever we want, you know. But we've learned since kind of New York that partying before a match is not a good thing. So.
Right on. So as this weekend goes on, you guys have a lot more matches to go. Do we have any tricks up the sleeve? Obviously, we always ask us, and we're not going to get an answer, but we want to know, we sometimes hear, oh, we're going to get these champions nerfed, or we're going to use a composition that nobody's ever seen before. Do the CLG have any of that?
Maybe a little bit. The thing is, a lot of people haven't seen us play other than just like our overseas matches. And our overseas matches, we kind of pick champions where we didn't have to use like skill shots that much, and so our picks really differed than what we normally would pick. So I think people will be a little bit thrown off because they haven't seen us in a while.
All right, yeah, definitely. And speaking of that, being in Korea for a few months or a few weeks as well, how did that work out for you guys? Did anything really come from that you guys hold true now, and your game was plateaued and you really took it to the next level?
Yeah, we came in Korea a little bit rusty just because we didn't have everything set up, and it took us a while to get going, and we pretty much had a week plus downtime.
Right.
But once we got set up and we practiced, and we got a little bit of help from our friend Loco Doco, actually a lot of help. So it was good, yeah.
Awesome. So with that, was it a different experience? Did you guys just right off the bat say like, hey, the metas aren't different, but their play style is different. They're a lot aggressive here. Their timings in the game are a little bit better. Did they show you guys anything that we really haven't seen in the North American scene or the European scene?
I think they're just really, really, really aggressive. Like, they are super aggressive. They don't take consideration of jungle unless they have like all the lanes completely like pinned down. So they like a lot of lane dominance and presence.
So after all this, after the tournament, I heard CLG has a few more moving plans. What do you guys have in mind?
Well, we're heading back to Korea right after this, and then we might have a gaming house in California.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Well, we'll have to see if that happens. A lot of things going on in California. It's a big gaming scene area, that West Coast. A lot of League of Legends goes on there too, that Riot Games. Those guys, they know what they're doing. But we're going to have more matches for you coming up just after this. We got these all for you, everybody live at home and everybody joining us here. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll be right back after this.